Yo, what's up, people, man? It's your boy King Dion here, man. Bringing you some NBA 2K19 Prelude. I've been playing this since the 31st, and my impressions of it is it's NBA 2K18.5, and that's the best compliment that I could give this game because you all know, I'm sure we all know, the problems with NBA 2K18 really lied, most of the issues really lied in the way the game handled microtransactions and stuff like that. That was the bulk of the issue. Now, don't get me wrong, the gameplay had its issues here and there, but those were all things that could have been cleaned up. And that's what they did. They've cleaned it up significantly this year. Now, are all those things 100% gone? No, and they're not going to be 100% gone for a very long time. You know, a, a good family member once told me, who works in the game development industry, man, artificial intelligence is a bitch to program, man. Because a lot of times sometimes unknowingly I say ignorant stuff about, I say ignorant stuff about these games, like improve this and improve that, without actually knowing what it takes to improve. And the consumer side of me doesn't give a damn about that, but the person that has to use logic at some point, you have to acknowledge it. This is not easy by any stretch of the imagination, because if it was, then I would just get out here and create the basketball game that I desire. So, I commend those guys over at 2K, man, Azar, Scott OG, Baluba, man, Mike Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I commend those guys, man. They have improved this game quite a bit, dude. Is it perfect? No, and as I said before, it'll never be perfect, but they have improved it quite a bit. Ball tangibility, I have yet to see the ball clip through somebody, and here's my theory on that. My theory on that is, what they mean by live ball is that the ball is acting the same as any other object on the court. So it's acting like any one of these other 9 guys here. Now, when you're playing, sometimes you get animations when when you're running around the court and you bump into another teammate or an opposing defender, right? 2 animations happen, but they're not canned animation. They're not 2-man sequences. It's like, say JR was to bump into Tristan right here. It wouldn't be a 2-man animation. It would be 1-to-1 animation for each player, but it'll be a collision that you notice. You'll know it'll be a collision, but it's not a canned animation between 2 of these players. And if you play, I'm probably not doing the best job at explaining it, but if you play this game and last one a lot, you know what I'm talking about. The ball is acting similar to that, right? I've seen it in my career where the offense dribbled the ball into LeBron James, right? And it's that Wing Chung dude, I think. I probably butchered his name. He plays on your team in my career. He dribbled the ball into him, and instead of doing what it did last year, which was clip through his body, what happens is that ball acted as an object and it just kind of pushed LeBron James back. So I think that's how they're handling ball tangibility, which, i.e., live ball. That's how they're probably handling that this year. But I've never seen the ball in playing this since the 31st, as it came out at 12. I've never seen the ball really go through anyone's body, and it probably has. It probably has maybe once or twice, but I'm pretty sure I would see it because it was happening so much in NBA 2K18 that you just couldn't miss it. And either it's completely gone or 90% gone, or it's been hidden to where it's tough to see, right? So let's think about the live ball and ball clipping. They've improved on that drastically. Another thing is the on-ball defense, man. Now, I don't know how to feel about the on-ball defense yet. What I'm leaning towards is angles have now been destroyed because they may have went too far on the other side of cleaning up the one-on-one reaction between the ball handler and the defender. So what happens now is, now the defense is getting bailed out by these animations that may or may not be advantageous to the offense or the defense, right? And what I mean by that is, it leaves things open to when you get, because you know how this game translates difficulty, so it leaves things open to when you get an angle on a guy, and depending on what time it is in the game, and depending on what type of run the CPU is on, you can start getting disadvantageous animations, so if I get a step on somebody, or Colin Sexton right here, it's not a good example. This is just me replaying this for a backdrop over my voice. It was a great move, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is, step backs trigger ankle breakers now. So it was a great move. Curry's in a takeover mode, and that's just buckets. And takeover mode, and I'll get into that in a second after I finish with the on ball defense. But the on ball defense, I have to see how it's gonna play out in the full game. But my opinion on it now is, now Kevin Love is able to really stick with a guy a lot of cases with a dude. I mean, it's definitely easier to get past Kevin Love, but it's not as simple as it should be. I'm gonna have to sit there, because Kevin Love doesn't even have to. He doesn't even have to get in retreat mode. See, what a big does in real life typically is the guy does not want to get beat to the rim. So he's trying to, he's already he doesn't want to get beat to the rim to where he can't recover and use all that athletic ability and that shot blocking ability. So when you're playing him, he's already in retreat mode, right? He's already thinking retreat. He doesn't really want to be out there. So, and this is what Curry does a lot. Curry takes it. This is why Curry shoots so much on bigs, because like they're already naturally in retreat mode. So it's, and it's, it's other ways you can handle that. If you're gonna drive to the rim on a big, you can it's a lot of different ways you can handle that. You don't just have to shoot the ball on a mismatch, but that's what Curry does, right? That doesn't happen in this game. Like, everyone just smothers you. So knowing Kevin Love is very tight up on me, on a mismatch, and it's harder than it should be to get past him, regardless of what type of angle advantages I have on the drive, right? Now, this is not a good example. He cut me off here. That was a good defense. I didn't have enough of an angle. He just recovered. Okay, like, it is what it is. That's why I triggered this step back right here, because I was cut off. But there's nothing wrong with that sequence right there. But there's other instances where I've been had an angle on Colin Sexton where in real life he would have had to drop his foot back and try to get on my hip, because I have the angle advantage, and now I have this disadvantage, this disadvantageous animation, that's slowing me down to the rim to the point to where it makes no sense to even attempt to shot over Colin Sexton, and I don't like that at all, because at least last year when you got the angle on for the drive, you got past him. Now, the problem with last year was there was two issues with last year's dribble drive, right? The first problem the first problem was this: the damn ball clipped through bodies too much. And you have to think of it this way: even in the help defense wasn't perfectly up to snuff in last year's iteration of this game. But you have to think of it this way: if I take this ball up the lane, let's say Curry takes this ball up the lane, right, and the help steps up, but then the ball just clips directly through the guy's body, and then that's at the rim for a layup. So positioning didn't really matter too much in NBA 2K18. And that was really the main problem why people felt driving to the basket was so easy, because in today's NBA, you can't guard these guys. A great offensive player, you're not going to guard a great offensive player. A great offensive player with tools in his bag is not even really paying attention to the first line of defense. He's looking back here and trying to see where the help is coming from, so he can see where he's going to get his shots from, whether it be in the mid-range or whether it be all the way to the rim. He's looking over that guy to see where his shot is going to come from. You're never worried about this guy as a good, or hell even a great, or hell even a good offensive player that with a lot of tools in his bag. You're never really worried about this guy, even if it's Kawhi Leonard, because you don't have time to just worry about Kawhi Leonard. There's too much stuff happening on the court back here, first of all, to be worrying about just the first line of defense. And that's what a lot of people won't tell you. That's, a lot of people, because like I said, I've been playing ball for 20 plus years, and I don't say that to brag at all. It's plenty of people that play basketball, but look, trust me when I'm telling you, nobody who's a good offensive player who's versatile is really worried about this right here. Nobody's worried about the first line of defense. You pretty much beat the first line of defense whenever you need to. especially if you know how to read the defense and knows what the person's weaknesses are, whether it be he's slow-footed, whether he's lacking in strength. It's a lot of different. Very rarely like you run into a guy on defense that just has everything together. He's just fast as hell, strong as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like his defensive IQ is high, so he knows what to do. Like very rarely that's a unicorn you're running into on defense right there, and that's not Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a great defender, but it's still not enough to where you have to change your whole focus. Like, okay, how am I going to beat this guy? It's just not like that in the NBA. And that's my problem with the last 2Ks. I know I'm spinning off into a rant, but I just want to talk about this for a second. That's my problems with the last 2Ks, is that they put too much emphasis on this area right here instead of this back here. They put way too much emphasis on that. Like I'm trying to tell you, it's basketball today. Without hand checking, you're never going to check this dude. You're never going to really check this dude. You're never going to really check Harden. You're never going to really check Kyrie. You're for damn sure is not going to check Westbrook, because first of all, Westbrook don't even need dribbles. Westbrook is athletic. Westbrook is fast. Westbrook, you need dribble moves to shift the defense when you're not, you don't have exceptional speed at your position, right? Or quickness. That's when you start needing dribble moves, and that's why Kyrie Irving plays the way he does, because he's not particularly fleet-footed for the position, so he needs to get moves to get you to shift so he can get that angle advantage. Westbrook doesn't need that. He just up and he's gone, so he's really not worried about this, right? And even Kyrie's not worried about this, because a couple of moves, as soon as he gets you to shift the way he wants, he's gone. He's just gone. You're never going to recover, dude. Even if you're Kawhi Leonard's not, he's not picking up on Kyrie. He's too slow-footed. So it is what it is, man. But as far as this game goes, I ran over the rant into real life basketball, but this is what we thrive for. We thrive for these games to be as close to the real life product as possible, and that's the reason why I go off into tangents about it, because it's hand in hand. We want the game to be as simulation as possible, and in this year's game, I think the on-ball defense has been improved for the better. Game-wise, I say, because I don't think this area of the game, the rotations of the game, I think they are improved, but I don't think they're improved enough to carry the bulk of the game. Just to where it's like, okay, these guys are going to be making NBA level, IQ decisions when it comes to rotating, because it's never going to be there, because as I said before, developing an AI, so artificial intelligence is just a bitch, man. It doesn't feel, it doesn't see. It's a series of ones and zeros. So it's really tough to get that together. So this has to be artificial in some sense, right? This has to be, this can't be like real life, because in real life, and if Curry decides he want to put the moves on, this is happening a lot more often in real life. Maybe not to that extent, but he's creating space on his step back a lot more often, in real life. And on this game, it's not going to be that often. In fact, you're not going to be beating this guy off the dribble too often in this game, to where, and not you look, it's hip ride animations in this game, so you're gonna be able to you're gonna be able to get going to the rim while he's on your hip, but it's not the right kind of hip ride animations to where you'll have a real advantage, and then you're going slow. The center's gonna come over and it's gonna be a contested shot at the rim. So it is what it is, and I do think this version of it is the best, because you don't want just to be able to hold straight to the rim and then blow past somebody. I'm not condoning that at all. That was a problem. So, but that is what it is with that. Now, takeover mode is done. I like the takeover mode. I think maybe it probably should be toned down a tad bit, but I don't have the full game, so it could already be toned down. Takeover mode is what I've been asking for in this game forever, dude. Like forever, at least for like 5 years. Forever was an exaggeration, but like at least for about like 5 years. When great players get hot, they become unguardable. And that's just what it is. That's basketball, because you have to think, man, Rhythm is the deciding factor of what a good to great offensive player is going to do on that court when it comes to offense. Just putting your hand up in a guy's face unless you're standing in his shot pocket, and he has to adjust his shot pocket. That shot pocket that he's been shooting from for years, right? He has to adjust that and then do all types of other silly stuff with the ball because you're just too close. That's why players don't take shots when they're smothered like that until they can create space and get the ball to their shot pocket and then set point and then eventually release. So yeah, like it's the thing about it is these type of moves were never effective in 2K. Even back as far as just as short as NBA 2K18, these type of step back moves were never effective. You could not create space with them. They were useless. And a lot of these shots missed because the contested shot logic was way out of whack. Something the dude sitting like 6 feet away from you is register you as a heavily contested jumper, or even worse, a dude just behind you is just a heavily contested jump shot. That's no good. That was never acceptable. And that's been cleaned up here. Contested shot logic has been cleaned up miles in this game. Contested shots that are heavily contested, you really have to be on a guy to heavily contest them. Like if you're even if you're in, that's what, and they account on this game for one thing that NBA metrics like closest defender metrics don't count for, and that's a guy being within the right space to defend the shot, but then he just doesn't jump to contest the shot. He doesn't get his hand up the right way, and he doesn't elevate to get his hand up. That's hand down, man down. That's not defense. But they account for that. They don't account for that with closest shot metrics on the NBA, and this game actually does. So, it's a lot of things that's been very polished in this game, and that's why I say it is NBA 2K18.5, and that is a great compliment for this game, because what that means is now we can probably sit out and play basketball instead of playing a video game. We can play more of the game of basketball instead of playing more of a video game, than previous iterations of this game. So that's all really I gotta say about this, man. I just want to give you all a rundown of my opinion on like the 5v5 portion of this. It asks if this even stays this way. It might be subject to change over the course of patches, and even hell, the full game could be completely different. So anyway, peace out, people, man. It's been your boy King Dion. Later.